What up, young people? What up, old people? It's your boy Jimmy Smooth, and this is Hey Young World. Felt good to do that, man. People, you gotta give people what they want, man. If somebody say they want to hear it, let them hear that, man. Hey, you hear that laugh, man? That's Johnny. Who is that guy?
I'm the same person I am every day. If y'all don't know me by now, get to know me. I'm a nice guy. One day I'll get to open the show.
Wait. I'm glad both of y'all here.
Hey, no, listen. You gotta get the people what they want.
You gotta give them what they want, man.
It's Johnny the Gent. What's going on, everybody? Yeah, hi. Hello. How you doing? Good.
We have the lovely, beautiful Pretty in here with her Afro puff popping right now. What you put in that, man? Like, how is it? Is this that shit is standing up perfect?
Just put some water and combed it out and kind of reverted to the curl.
That's that natural, huh? That's what's up. That's what's up. I'm definitely gonna try to watch my language today. We have kids in the building. We have the lovely Eb Jones. Okay, honey.
Hey.
But today she's not here to talk about
we can always talk about. I thought you were going to say, okay, honey, I'm sorry.
Battle of the Sexes episode part 3 is coming, and you will be invited. Part 2 happened on an accident. It's not my fault.
Are we going to dive into that?
Not now.
Oh, okay.
But what we are going to dive into is the fact that you got all three of your children.
I do.
Okay, and we got the boys in here, Jaden and Little Sean. Right? Okay, Jaden and Little Sean. I got it right. Didn't I get it right?
No, you did not.
I mean, well, next time I'll know for sure which way to go. All right, but we also have your daughters, and what's your name? I'm sorry. Jordan, that's right, Jordan. So we have Jordan in the building, and basically last week you reached out to us, and you wanted to get a protest going. Right?
I did, absolutely.
Johnny the Gent was right there.
He was.
You know what I mean?
Johnny on the spot.
That man was there.
Somebody Johnny.
So
his stomach was tore up, and he still came through. Bubbles
Wait a minute. Yeah, that was last Friday, right?
Yeah, was it Friday?
Was that last Friday?
No.
Friday.
It was Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, it carried over.
Wednesday for sure.
It was.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, bubble gas.
He was sick when we did the podcast. But hey, I'm glad he's better. But getting back into what happened, you reached out to us to get a protest going.
I did.
Get into that.
So
what happened? Yeah.
So, Jaden, who is my youngest son, is a first grade student.
How old is Jaden?
He's 7.
Okay, he's 7. Okay.
He's a first grade student at Richardson Elementary in the Falls. Well, he was a student. He would no longer be going there anymore.
What's the name of the school?
Richardson Elementary School.
Okay.
Right across from the Acme in the Falls.
I know where it's at. I know exactly where
So
it's
all
at.
year long, we just been kind of going back and forth, having issues with myself and the teacher and the principal in regards to Jaden's treatment, period, from the students and the staff there. And then it escalated to a particular 5th grader who was bullying Jaden. So, threatening, I'm going to beat you up every day if he catches Jaden in the bathroom. He's pushing Jaden, putting hands to Jaden, doing something to Jaden. Where I had made mention to this several times. I have several emails with the principal and his teacher because that is how I began to communicate, because I just felt like I needed a paper trail. Because nothing was being done with any phone calls that were being made, anything like that. So nothing was ever done. One day I was at the school dropping Jaden off in the morning, and I witnessed the little boy. Before that, the Monday before I witnessed the attack on Jaden, me and Little Shine came to pick Jaden up from school. And Jaden came out and said, Seth said he's gonna whoop my ass, whatever. So Little Shine saw the little boy, and I'm in the car. I'm like, Little Shine, tell him leave your brother-in-law. So Little Shine said, hey, leave my brother-in-law. The little boy says, your brother ain't gonna do shit to me. Little Shine says, he won't, but I will. Leave my brother-in-law. So that was the end of that. 2 days later, I'm dropping Jaden off. He's outside playing with his kids. The kids play. They're waiting to go in the building for breakfast. And I see Seth, the young man that's been bullying him, come from across the line. Jaden is facing me. So his back is to Seth. And Seth punches him in the back. So
you witnessed this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I get out my vehicle, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I did go up to Seth and say, didn't we just tell you to leave Jaden alone? I just saw you put hands to him. I'm going to go in and tell the principal. So I go into the building to tell the principal, and she wasn't available. The receptionist said that she was in a meeting. I said, that's fine, I'll wait. Another staff member came up to me, asked me what was going on. I told her. Her response to me was, well, all the kids push and shove outside. It's just what they do. They hit, they push, they shove.
Kids are kids. Right.
You can't tell me that when I started off saying the young man who's been bullying my son all year, I saw him physically attack my child. Your response as a staff member should never be to me, that's what they do. Because clearly there's a history there, there's a problem. So I just let her know I don't want to talk to her anymore, so I'll just wait for the principal. The principal comes, she's very dismissive. Okay, I'll handle it, while like walking me out the door. So I leave, I call her back thinking she didn't have time. She picks up, she talks to me, she said, didn't I just tell you I was going to handle it? Very dismissive.
The principal approached you and told you, didn't I just tell you I was going to handle it?
Exactly what she said. Her name is Julie
Out of
Wilson.
line.
Her name is Julie Wilson.
Judy Wilson.
Julie Wilson.
Okay.
I said, you did? So I began to tell her, like, you know, you're very dismissive. Who do I need to talk to at the Board of Education? And it was a struggle getting that information from her. I got his name and number. Dr. Nichols is the superintendent for Cuyahoga Falls. Finally spoke with him. He had already spoke to Mr. Wilson by the time he talked to me. So his main concern was now, who is your oldest son that you have coming up to our school threatening our 5th graders? So now the attention is on Little Sean and myself, not on...
Little Sean doesn't even attend this school.
He does not.
Right.
He goes to STEM. So I spoke with him for a while. I began to get very emotional. I started crying, telling him that, you know, this is why children commit suicide, because Jaden's in 1st grade and doesn't want to go to school.
Can I interrupt? I'm sorry, can I stop you?
It's a long story, right? I'm
It is.
sorry.
No, can I stop you just for a minute because I have a question? This is the superintendent you're talking to who brings up Little Sean?
Yes.
Did you tell your story prior to this? To him? Did you recant everything? You just told him everything you just told us?
I told him my story, and his response to my story was, well, who is your oldest son?
Okay, he heard. So you told him that. You gave him that information.
No, I didn't give him Lil Sean.
So basically, somebody told
He
him
talked to
that
the
Little
principal.
Sean got
He talked to the principal.
Okay.
And they were focused on talking about how you and your son was coming up there pretty much bullying on the little kids.
That's what
or confronting the other
they were
kids.
trying to say that Lil Sean was threatening. You know, he was threatening violence to one of their students.
Okay. So from there, from talking to the superintendent, didn't the police got involved, right?
Well, the police were involved at that time. Me and Jordan actually went on a girls' trip to Atlanta that weekend, so we weren't there. I didn't send Jaden back to school just because I didn't feel like Jaden mattered to them, that he would be protected by them. The police came when I was not there the following day after I witnessed. That was on Thursday. My children were home. The police came and talked to Little Sean.
Okay, so either one of you guys were available at the time. You or Jordan wasn't available at the time.
We were not.
Huh? No.
We were not.
Well, the first question I have for these young men: why did y'all open the door?
Well, there was another adult there.
Okay. Sounds like a very interesting adult. So let's keep rolling. Well, my question is, he allowed this to happen, and I don't want to get off the path of what we're
I
really
think
talking
that
about.
this is the thing, that given the climate and just how everywhere with the police, and especially how it is in the falls,
Right.
I could see him thinking like, let me just kind of do whatever the fuck they want me to, so it just doesn't be any more problems.
See,
if that and that's not the
that is
mindset
the
that we can
problem,
have.
though.
That is a horrible mindset to have, but I kind of appreciate that, because what if he had an issue? He's there with my children. Me and Jordan are in Atlanta.
Right.
Who, like, what's going to happen with my kids? Are they going to be shipped off to Children's Services? But the issue with that is a police officer shouldn't speak to my minor child unless a parent or legal guardian is there.
Right.
Exactly.
Which it was not there. Their father is deceased.
Right.
I'm it. That's all. So if I'm not there, you don't get to talk to him and then interrogate him. What school do you go to? How old are you? Well, Lil Shot probably tell the story better than myself. But imagine the conversation I didn't have to have with my son following that because he like, well, what if I'm out of school early and I want to walk with Jordan to go get Jaden? I'm scared to go there because they told him you would be treated as a trespasser and you would be handled accordingly.
So what?
Which means what? You gonna arrest me?
They would try him as an adult? I mean, they would treat him as an adult? Is that what they're saying?
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, basically. So
Well, what he told me was Lil Sean would be arrested.
right. So he would
So
be
Lil
treated
Sean
as an
already
adult.
has, like, according to them, he already has like a case or something on him there. Not like, I can't think of the
Not
word.
like charges, but
Not like charges.
It's a file, is what they're saying. We
Which is ridiculous.
Like a
written
warning.
your name down already. Yeah.
So if you can have a file on him, where's your file on Seth?
Right.
That was my question.
Well,
I
see,
was just about to ask that.
here's the big picture, okay? Well, it all started. The person that was at home when they were interrogated by the police, right?
When the police
This
knock on the door,
person
you
was
open.
afraid. Well, no,
You
but see,
open the door.
the thing is, this person was afraid not to cooperate by letting the police talk to them and fear that it could get worse because of where they were located, Cuyahoga Falls. Like, Cuyahoga Falls' nickname at one point was Caucasian Falls.
Well, it
that's
still
what
is.
they called it.
It
So
still
basically, this is an area where, I mean, black people are not really necessarily welcomed with open arms. So that to me, that's the big picture here.
Mm-hmm.
Going back to what happened at the school, is this a race issue? Is this?
I think it very much is because, let me just say this, why I hate that pulling the race card. But
What?
I hate that saying because I feel like that's something that people say. It
Listen.
definitely is a race issue.
I stack
Let's be
the
clear.
deck and I throw them often and early.
Hello.
You understand me?
Okay,
You don't
honey.
feel like it should be the last
No,
resort?
listen. I got an opportunity to throw my card. I know I'm a.
Okay.
Listen,
On the table.
immediately. If I feel like I need to, Joker's wild.
All right.
Let's do this. You obviously wanted to go
Well,
this
the
way. 'cause
reason
you
why
made it weird.
and I want to get back into what Ed Jones was talking about, but the reason why I feel that it should be the last resort, because in society, especially in corporate America, as soon as something goes wrong as a black person, they are expecting for you to go that route.
No, listen. I only
So-
throw my card when it's just when I know I'm right. It's
Okay.
not, but it's not gonna go into last resort. The moment you get a little antsy or handsy with your race, okay, cuz I see what you want to do. Let's just call it what it is. Here's
Well,
my
that's-
card now.
That's my thing, though. I feel where you're coming from. Johnny the Jet. I definitely feel where you're coming from. But being in corporate America,
I don't care what part of America you in. Listen,
I'm just
and that's
saying.
what I'm saying about Cuyahoga Falls. I will go wherever I please because I'm a grown ass man.
Absolutely.
And I just had this conversation a week ago, and I understand.
Conversation.
Sometimes people are going to be like, I'm not going to be welcome. I'm not going to stay where I'm not welcome. But I will be damned if you're going to stop me from showing up.
Those are good points, and I don't want to get too far from Ed Jones, but those are excellent points that I definitely want to get back
Those
into.
are great
Like,
points because that's part of the struggle I've been going through in my
be where
mind.
you want to be. Be where you want to be. Like, basically.
The struggle I'm in now is, do we continue to live there? Do I can continue to pay this large amount of money to live there where we're not wanted, but where I love my house, I love my home because it's like, it's fully renovated. Don't get me started. But, I love it. Do we live there where we're not wanted, where this summer I don't feel comfortable with Little Sean walking to the park, where I don't feel comfortable with my kids outside, because since everything came out, since protesting, they put me on a website called the Talk of the Town in Cuyahoga Falls.
Wow.
They know where I live. They have ridden past the house and screamed.
Who have ridden past
Just
the house?
people.
Really?
How do you know that these are people that are targeting you because of the
Well, because they're calling us the N-word. I don't know if that's kind of the norm.
So wait a minute, you've been
How
called
often is this?
racial slurs?
Absolutely correct. I mean,
How
I can
often
just
is
tell you,
this?
you've
What?
been to my house, this house and my other house on
Right.
20th Street. Jordan was just starting high school. The whole street seemed like they were outside. All the parents were outside taking pictures. You inboxed me about this.
Right, we had a conversation
Taking
about
pictures
this.
of
Right.
their kids, and somebody
I
rolled
told
by.
you went alone.
Yes.
Or something, yeah.
Yeah, it was taking pictures of their kids, and somebody wrote by like, "Oh, it's niggers that live there," and the lady across the street would call me the nigger bitch. But as of recent, since everything happened, a guy, I was on the phone with a good friend of ours, Rudy. I was on the phone with him, and a guy rolled by and on a bike and was like, "Nigger," and I was just happened to be outside talking to him on the phone, and he can vouch that because he heard it. But they put all of my information on this Talk of the Town Facebook page.
Okay. So basically, at this point, you're going to have to do something that protects yourself.
Yeah.
And making police reports or whatever it takes. That way, if you have to defend yourself and your family,
absolutely,
it's been documented.
Absolutely. So I go meet with the prosecutors Monday.
Okay.
And then I've been in contact with the NAACP. Reached out. So
did they reach out to you? You reached out to them?
I reached out to them.
Okay.
Before all of this. Prior to, and then they reached out. I reached out again, and then they called me back. She said she had been calling me. I just didn't get the phone calls or the messages. But.
Okay. Man, that's kind of mind blowing that we're still dealing with these type of issues in 2018. So I guess at this point we can just say that this is racial. I mean, this is a racial.
No, it's been past racial.
So
the little boy.
So to me, it was. I don't want to cut you off, but let me just say why I said it was racial dealing with Jaden at the school is because we had a sign when we were protesting that cultural competency training is needed now.
Okay.
Diversity training, you can call it that as well. It's needed because there's no black staff there. 4% of the student population is non-white. And when I say cultural competency or diversity training, it's for black students, but not like black students that attend a Falls City School is a handicap, but just something as simple as they couldn't wrap their minds around the fact that my daughter would walk to pick her brother up every day from school. So the teacher would call me and say things like, well, why can't you make this conference? Well, I'm working. Well, why does your daughter have to pick him up every day from school? Or ask her, where's your mom? Why is she not picking Jaden up? So they don't have that diversity training. They don't have a diverse atmosphere in a climate in the school. So it's just things like that, or just when Jaden would come home and say if I was white they would treat me better, or mom, I had a substitute today and they called me little spook or something like that, and I reach out to the principal and she's not on it.
Wait. Crystal, you was about to say something. I want you to get that off. That
the little boy that was put his hands on him. Was he black or was he white?
He was white.
He was white.
His name is Steph.
This is the
Seth.
I'll say that again.
Yeah, you should have said his name again. I would have said, okay.
Seth. Okay.
Seth is his name.
So not Steph like Steph Curry. S-E-T-H.
No,
okay.
Seth.
Yeah,
S-E-T-H. Little Seth.
Yeah.
The white boy Seth.
Do no wrong.
Like on that movie Pretty in Pink, if you all saw it.
What is it?
Yeah.
Pretty in Pink. You saw that?
Nah.
His
I
name
was
was
gonna say like
yeah.
Seth MacFarlane, but
Yeah,
I guess,
exactly.
Yes.
No, right.
I
Yes.
guess that's
Yes.
how
That
you
is.
would do it.
So with a name, that guy, in their opinion, can do no wrong. Is what
He can. That's why they put the script real quick and said, "Oh, well, it was you and your son."
Right.
Because little kids play and they fight all the time, but you and your son stepped the boundary coming to the school. You lost already because you're black. So now they're trying to make it seem like you and your son. How old are you, Lashawn?
13.
A little 13-year-old boy is a big threat now.
I want to
Because little Seth is beating on her 7-year-old son.
Well,
Little Spook.
It's
Yeah.
7.
Little Spook.
A substitute teacher, correct, Jaden?
Let's talk about that.
What happened, Jaden?
Yeah,
Come here, Jaden.
Yeah, come here, man. Go over whatever with Pretty. See. So this is 7-year-old Jaden. This is the actual victim. Everybody else kind of inherit this mess. So
I had a substitute teacher one day, and I was just talking to my friend, and it said, Blackie, stop talking in class, and Spooky, why you still talking, and go make me clip that.
What is this teacher's name?
Involved in this. Little Spooky. So he calls you Little Spooky and Blackie.
Blackie.
Now, first of all, before we go any further, he's a very well-spoken 7-year-old child. Very, you know what I mean? This is not. Yeah, that really pushed the button. What were you saying, Ed?
Well, when Jaden came home and told me about it, his mindset was, well, this is what they do in the fall school. They trick him into believing certain things. He just said that because you had on black. He had on black jeans and black
That's
t-shirt.
a mind game.
So this is what they do.
That's a mind game.
So, it's been cases where Jaden, they emailed me saying Jaden was in the bathroom and, a student pushed him. And this is after they have a way of trying to convince and twist things when it comes to Jaden and telling him certain things.
Right.
And their issue with me was because the police came to the house for me after everything when I stood in the principal's office and waited for her to come out, and I made sure that when I go there I kind of keep my hands like this because I talk with my hands, as you can see, and I know when I talk with my hands like
They
they scared of that, and then oh my god, and then she's big, fat, and she's black, and then they can't just convince me like they convince him, so I'm always a problem there. They're all like, it got to the point the principal has hung up in my face when I'm talking to her. Like, they just have a way of trying to make us feel that we're in the wrong.
Right.
And because they cannot do that to me, and I have not allowed them to do that to me this whole school year, everything I think just kind of boiled over. It just got worse and worse and worse. So after I talked to the superintendent, I had a meeting with them. I go to the meeting. It's myself, the other adult who was at my house at that time, and Jaden's uncle, who was a reverend in the AME church, and we go into the meeting after they make us wait for an hour and a half for the meeting, and it is the superintendent, the principal, and the school's attorney. The attorney for Cuyahoga Falls there, and I'm like, well, what? All right, so why is he here? What are we doing right now? So I'm recording on my phone, and the superintendent's like, no, the attorney said, are you recording? I said, yes, I'm recording. And the superintendent was like, if we want to have an open, honest conversation with you. If you record the conversation, you're going to get something totally different.
Did you record that part of the conversation? Did you get that on the tape?
I don't even want to talk about how the recording was not really recording, and I wasn't listening.
Did you record it? Like,
I didn't get anything.
Slide?
I got nothing.
Wow. I can't get past the fact that a teacher would think it's okay to refer to a little black boy who's dressed. You said he was dressed in all black that day?
I don't
When
care.
I called, this was with the principal.
A ghost
That's a mind
costume.
game.
But this is what
The
Jaden
question
told
is,
me.
would they say that to a white boy that was dressed in all black? It doesn't fit,
We
right?
know they wouldn't say that.
So, I want to know from Jaden, how do you feel living in Cuyahoga Falls? Because school is out now, right? But how do you feel, first of all, living where you live and maybe having to go back to that school? I know your mom is not going to let that happen. You're not going to let that happen, right? But there's a possibility that he will go to another Cuyahoga Falls City school, right? Okay. Jaden, how you feel about living in Cuyahoga Falls right now?
It feels good to me. Just I want to go back to my old school.
Okay. Well, not just about school. How do you feel about where you live? Because where you live is not very far from your school at all. How do you feel about where you live? Or do you feel safe?
Yeah.
So you still feel safe, even what happened between you and the police?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel safe because I have people that have my back and that protect me from anybody.
That's good. So you have a lot of faith in your family. And that's cool. Do you realize that, do you know what racial slurs are?
No.
Okay, I'll let your mom explain that to you if you want to do it now or at a later date.
So when people call us the N-word and stuff like that, what is that? When Seth's dad pointed in the car and said, "You're a nigger baby, Lil Sean's a nigger baby, and I'm gonna burn that house down with your nigger baby sleep in it."
Wow.
What is that? Is that nice?
No.
But is that racial? Is that prejudice? What is that?
It's rude. I know it's rude. And it's just...
And you heard him say that he wanted to burn the house down, right?
Yes.
And I want to make sure that we understand that Jaden feels very safe because that's the environment that I try to create in the house. Like, I'm not even one to scare easily, and it has shook me. But my kids, I hope they all continue to feel safe and know. And I think that a part of you feeling safe is that you saw mommy go out and protest and stand up for you and help them do that, right?
That's why I want to thank you.
You want to thank me for that? Thank you.
So, here, my fault. I didn't mean to cut you
well,
off.
thanks. I want you to. That's what I want to know. What about to come on? Yeah. I don't know where the
Before they come
before
they come in, the bad part about them being called nigger babies and being told that their house is going to be burned down, that is taught behavior.
Absolutely. What a
That
father
is taught
said.
behavior. Yeah, somebody that they're listening to or being taught, being taught by is saying this type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Steph's father said this to me, not the little boy.
What?
Steph's father told me this.
what's his name? Let's put him
Oh,
on
I
blast.
put everybody on blast. Look.
Let's put him on blast. You on blast? You on the Cuyahoga Falls City website?
I don't know. It's like,
Do they have a picture
tell
of
us,
you?
tell us off the air. Tell us off the
They have a picture of you?
They have a picture of me protesting.
Wow. What's his dad? What's his dad's name?
I got to get out that information.
You can't give out that
I
information?
said I have to get all of that.
Please, man.
Yes,
Hey,
absolutely.
Johnny the Gent. I'm gonna walk with you on this, man.
But I feel like we can, if
I'm
I
gonna walk
Google
with you
it
on this, 'cause
now.
we got it. That's unacceptable.
Well, no, it was his father who told me. His father, I was dropping Jaden off at school, so I'm right here in my car on the driver's side. He pulled up on this side and was looking at me crazy. So I'm like, what? What? Because some of the parents get mad if you park or something, whatever. So I'm thinking that's what it is. And he rolled the window like, you know who I am. I said, I don't know who you are, but what? Like, what's the problem? So he pulled out. As he's pulling out, he's still talking. So I should have conducted myself differently. I definitely was like, well, if it's a problem, come back and let me know. So he came back and he was like, I'm Seth's dad. I said, oh, okay, so you're the father of the young man who's been bullying my son all year long. And he said, yeah, I am, you crackhead nigger bitch. Like,
Wait a minute.
and I know exactly where you live.
He said this to your face?
Mm-hmm. And he said, didn't he, Sean? Sean was there. He said, I know exactly where you live. I'm going to come to that house, burn crosses in front of it, and burn that house down with you and your 3 nigger babies in it.
Did you make a police report?
Mm-hmm.
So this is on file.
Mm-hmm.
Do you
So
own
then-
a firearm?
No.
I think I've asked you that before.
Yeah.
Yo, now is the time.
I don't feel comfortable with that in my house.
I feel that statement, but I don't feel that
Firearms are
statement.
beautiful. In this case, I love it.
I feel
They're
that
beautiful.
statement, but I don't feel that statement.
You say what?
I feel where you coming from, but I don't feel that statement that you just said. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Why not?
Because
The life you save may be your own.
indeed, and that's why I feel it. Also, sometimes there's a fire and you can't bring gas to it because
That's
that's
true.
when things
But at
explode.
least, hey,
and in
shit.
the situation,
You seen the beginning of Malcolm X? You seen the beginning of Malcolm
Given
X?
the situation, it's got to be you got to go down some other
Right.
avenues first.
Right.
You can't just say that. I feel you. No, I 100% feel you.
You gotta be able to
100%
protect
I feel
your
like this
family,
whole
man.
thing has, in my opinion, in my eyes, when I heard the story, this whole thing is like a modern day lynching. We can't do it how we used to do it, even though we could do it how we used to do it because they did it down there in Texas. That's not Texas. Or Nevada, where is that? Oklahoma. They did it in Oklahoma just weeks ago. They got to do it different. They do it on the internet. They do it with information now. The moves is a little different. We got to learn how to move different too.
Hey, my
I think we do
brain
need
is what.
to learn how to
Blank.
move different. And I think that when I said I wanted to protest, it was so many people was like, I don't know if you should do it, or maybe you should wait, or you need more people. And I think that it's always going to be an excuse not to do something.
I was one of those
You
people.
will always need more people. No matter how many people
I
you
was
get,
one of
you
those
always need
people
more
that told you
That's not
that,
the
though.
point.
You need more
should
people.
Show up.
I don't agree with that.
And I don't know.
One
Now I
person
don't
can't
know.
make a difference, but the more people you have out there trying to make that difference.
But my thing
the
is,
easier that
I think
damn thing. I'm not saying don't let it stop.
it would be great to have just tons and tons of people
Right.
saying
Don't
it.
let it
That would be
stop.
awesome.
Don't let
Yeah,
lack of people stop
I'm not
you,
gonna let
but
it stop
more
me, but I
people
had to
volunteer.
really, because like since we protested, what was that, last week? And then me and my kids went to protest. We since have protested on State Road, just because school is closed. But I don't know, it kind of has affected me. Like I don't know, it's
How has it affected you? What are you trying to say?
I don't know. I think that it just took me to like a weird place, like mentally. Like I don't know. Like I do not scare easily, and it scared me to be in the house. I definitely don't feel comfortable leaving my kids at the house anymore.
Right.
It messed with me as far as who knows me when we're out and about at the grocery store, who does not. You know what I'm saying? Based on how they put me in. I don't know how to describe it to you, but it just took me to a place where I just did not want to leave the house. Like this is really my first time out the house. I just was like depressed. Like I was in a depression. I didn't want to leave the house.
There's no paranoia.
I'm paranoid. I'm depressed, but I'm crazy. Like I don't know. It's just because I don't know what to do.
And Johnny, I don't want to cut you off, Ed, but I want you to tell me if you agree with this statement or not as being a black man. Do you feel like in the black community, the fact that the black man is not always present in the home or within a family realm, maybe white men feel like they can pull this shit off? Do you feel that way? Do you feel that if there was a black man's presence that was very strong,
I feel like it depends on the person.
I feel like, let me say this. I see what you're saying, and I cannot 100% disagree with that. I cannot.
Okay.
But I feel like a black presence in general is necessary everywhere. Like, I mean, if it was just some dude up the street who heard it, and he just happened to be black living in the neighborhood.
True.
A black presence is needed everywhere.
A black
and that's why I say,
yes.
Yeah, especially. I'm saying most of us is locked up. Not most of us. That's a lie. Those numbers are wrong. That number, those numbers are wrong, and I apologize. But of the prison population, it's majority. They taking us out. They trying to take us out the picture everywhere. Every chance they get, every opportunity, every which way. We need to be a presence everywhere, no matter what. Like people who don't know these kids, who don't know Ab Jones, people who don't know anybody in this room need to be showing up.
But the lady did show up.
We black.
She was white.
Who?
Her name is Stephanie.
Shout out to Stephanie.
Shout out Stephanie.
Wait a minute, who's Stephanie?
Hold on, let me find.
Is this something going on social media?
No.
Okay.
Stephanie Dito Evans.
Who was that?
Somebody took a picture of me standing out protesting. She saw it. She inboxed me, said I want to come stand with you, and she was there.
That's what's up.
She's been there every day since. Twice a day on the last day of school.
Hey, I'm at a loss for words now, man. Hey, I mean, like it. I know that this still happens. I have, and I'm sure as everyone in this room have experienced racism at some level, but I can't say that I have ever been called a little spook. I've never been called blackie. None of that has ever happened to me. I've had a white guy when I was younger call me nigga in the sense of trying to do it in a term of endearment. Well, I mean it didn't go too well, but I've never been called a nigga to my face, right? And to hear this 7-year-old kid it's 2018, man, like, to hear him go through this, like, kind of heartbreaking. You know what I mean? That's kind of heartbreaking. And racism will never die because it's a taught behavior, and it's just going to keep going and going and going. What do you want to see happen next?
I want bullying to be something that Cuyahoga Falls City School District takes seriously, pays attention to, because so many people inbox me about bullying. We went to this, or I went to the same thing with my daughter. And I'm talking about black, white, Puerto Rican, whoever was in my inbox. One lady inboxed me on Thursday. She didn't live in Cuyahoga Falls, but she was just like, my daughter's been going through the same thing with her son. Her son's 10 years old, being bullied. We reached out to the principal, the superintendent. They do nothing about it. She inboxed me that Saturday and said that her 10-year-old grandson had hung and killed himself Friday night.
See?
So we need to take the bullying serious. I think that I've heard things where it's like, roasting make you better, but everybody can't take a roast. And I think that sometimes bullying is called roasting. No?
It depends on where it's coming
from. It depends.
I
can't disagree with that.
Roasting is always bullying.
Yeah.
Does roasting come from a place of love?
No, you can roast someone out of love. Like
you can, but it's all about perception. So if I feel like you're not being genuine with it, or you're being mean with it, then that's how I'm taking it. It's perception.
Hey, I don't think you can roast out of love until you're an adult, because a child, a teenager, it's never going to be felt. I've had somebody roast me as an adult. I'm like, oh my God, they right. I gotta get it together. But as a child, I went home and I cried and I was like, I don't want to go back to school, Mom. Whatever.
Well, I had older cousins that used to go in on me.
Well, we all have
I embraced that. Like I really
You embraced
embraced
it at the
that.
time?
Some people don't know how to
At the
embrace it.
time, it just made me tougher mentally. Like, you know what I'm saying? It just made me like to the point where nothing can stop me.
Times
Like,
have
I don't think
changed.
that's
like
realistic.
there's nothing you can say to me that would make me feel bad about me.
I don't believe you. I don't believe at the time you felt like this is yes.
No, not
Keep
the first
talking
time
about
it happened.
How did you feel the first time it happened?
Keep talking.
Why are they doing this to me?
Exactly.
But hold on, wait a minute. I'm gonna tell the story how it is. Cause I love every last one of my cousins to this day for this shit. My mother, and that's when I became that boy. Like, no, you're not gonna do this to me, Mom. I love you, but no. And my mom put me on biker shorts and a motherfucking hoodie. Excuse
With
my
a
language.
fanny pack.
Like, no, my mother always kept me first, even as a young kid. I don't want to get too far off into this, but that was my kicking it around day. I was playing around, and she thought it was acceptable to put me in biker shorts and a hoodie.
Hey,
And I blew down at my uncle's house, and them niggas was like, "We're not having this.
We're not having it.
We're not having this." Like, and from there on, me and my mother had an understanding. Look, the straight up
That's how
things
good was
that
just
I
do the right thing.
am not going to. Who? Mookie?
Not Mookie.
Spike Lee.
Not Mookie.
Mookie
Dude,
did
not,
dress like
dude,
that.
Mookie might have been, but dude was just like that. Dude,
Yo.
who told you to buy a red brick in my city on my side of the block? On
Yo.
yeah, in my hood on my
That's-
side
Your
of the
mother
block.
was with the time.
That was in New York.
Biker shorts and hoodie.
Mookie rode a bike, if I'm not mistaken, or if he wasn't, he was on foot delivering pizza.
He was delivering them pies.
Look, man, that ain't
Sounds
what we was
famous.
doing. But the bottom line, I don't want to get too far off into that. The bottom line is that made me mentally. It made me stand up for myself. Like, look, Mom, you can't do this to me. Like, when I looked at myself in the mirror, I was like, this looks foolish. My mom used to put me on the little knee-high socks and shit with the black and white.
and
Yeah,
pro
like,
socks.
like the old.
Pro
She
socks.
said that's what the older men wear. I'm fine. Like, what the fuck? Like, you know, I'm fine.
Pro socks.
It made me stand up for myself and say what I'm gonna take and what I'm not gonna take. Even as a child, you know, even when you're a kid, you have rights. I mean, don't let
Don't get to
don't let nobody tell you don't have no rights.
Do
I
it.
got phone numbers for you, man.
Yeah, you gonna get all these niggas fucked
I was
up.
just
You
playing.
gonna try to-
Hey, but getting back to the whole Cuyahoga Falls thing, the question is it a safe place for black people to live in 2018?
Listen, before we answer that question, yeah, I still want to hear from the two people who haven't spoken. How do you feel about it? What are you thinking? What's going on? What's your opinion on the subject?
As
Not
far
you.
as what?
Not you.
No, I know. You're talking to them, but
In general, like
Not
come to the mic and
We
just tell me
gotta
what
trade
you
off. We
think.
gotta trade
Well,
off.
can we just do this like this?
well, I mean,
Or you want?
the young lady Jordan said she has
See,
no
that was-
idea on why
It might-
the
no.
protest is going on, right? You
That's
wanna
not-
ask that?
Yeah, see, I just want to know what you're saying.
Okay, wait, so let her
what you
say-
Yeah, can she sit there?
Hold on, Jordan. Do you even want to? Oh, you do.
If you don't want to,
All right, honey. Let him
I'll ask it
know.
another time. But I really want to know.
So she has said this, leave it alone. She has said
Man, let her say what she's done. Let
That
her.
microphone, buddy.
Don't
Let her-
force
yeah,
her.
let
Let
him-
her say
yeah.
what she wants to say.
yeah. What? Just be cool, man. Anyway,
Not you.
yeah, just let it roll. Yes, Jordan, you don't understand what's going on whatsoever.
It's not
right?
true.
I'm asking a question so
I
we have an
understand.
understanding
Don't
of what
leave.
you're
You're
talking
You're doing it
about.
condescending now.
Yeah, don't leave
Huh?
anything.
I
Let
feel
her
like you're
say
being
what she wants to say.
condescending.
How?
Say what she wants to say.
Because
How you feel.
off the podcast, I told you where my daughter stood, and you called her Uncle Tom. So I feel like you saying she don't have no understanding. Of course, these are her brothers.
No. I'm saying let's get an understanding of how she feels about that specific part of the subject.
I'm just saying, don't ask any questions. Let her say
Let
how
her
she
say
wants
it.
to
So
say it.
introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
Hi, Jordan.
Well, no, I don't
Hi.
feel like what Jenny Smooth was saying. I just think that racism is everywhere, no matter where we're at. So I don't think that we should like move or anything, because that's kind of what they want. And of course, like I don't want anyone talking to me or my brothers like that. That's just like wrong. But I just feel like we protest. I don't think anything's going to change. So it seems like a waste of time.
So what do you suggest we do? Do you feel like it's just never going to change no matter what?
and kind of just accept it.
That's what you feel?
I guess, yeah.
I disagree with that, and you seem like a very intelligent young lady, and I disagree with that because what if we had just accepted it back in the 50s and the 60s when we got the civil rights movement? The thing about that is that it got us to where we at now. We got a lot further to go, obviously, if these type of things are still happening. But what if there had been no civil rights movement? Then what? You'd probably still be drinking from a water fountain that was labeled colored.
Or possibly, what if the slaves? What if it was still like slavery? Should we have accepted that?
No, of course not. But
should we accept drinking from a certain faucet?
No, but with this particular thing, like I said before, racism is everywhere. Somebody somewhere is going to call you maybe the N-word, or you may get something like it. Just, I don't know. It's just how I feel about it.
Have you ever experienced racism at your school?
Forms of it, yes.
Like what?
Someone asked me if I ate like chicken and watermelon for dinner.
What was your response?
I didn't say anything.
Why not?
Because they want me to react. Because they feel like I'm a black girl, so I'm gonna scream and yell, pop off, want to fight. But I'm not like that, so I just don't really say nothing.
Wow. So they asked you if you eat chicken and watermelon for dinner.
And we struggle with that at home, right? When you come home and tell me those things, who loses it?
You do.
You use what?
I lose it. I appreciate her not wanting to feed into what the expectation of her should be at that school. But there's a way to say anything. So what I always try to feed into Jordan is there's a way to say anything, so you gotta check them. You don't want to scream and yell and cuss. I don't want you screaming and yelling and cussing. You see me do it, but I don't want you to do it. I get it. But you better let a motherfucker know real nicely, bitch.
I cried.
Do I not say that to you at home?
That's it.
They want to know, what did you eat, baby? What did you eat?
That was so polite.
Because your mother, what did you eat? Your mother's on heroin. Not mine.
I cried.
Yeah, your mother does
Let's not automatically go push a T on her.
What we do? You want to know if I eat chicken and watermelon every day? Did you eat?
I told you.
Your mother's on heroin.
She didn't even see this.
There you go.
Chicken ain't even
I
seasoned.
totally get it.
It ain't even eating.
I commend you for not saying anything because you're way better than me already.
She is dope for that.
I want to go to him and say something now when I don't even know these people. But that's just me, and I might be crazy.
But like with that, you want people to stop like talking about us like that, but then you go back and you say something to them like that's kind of contradicting. Like,
Eye for an eye, leave everybody blind. I totally see that. You know, I get it. I totally get that. However, you begin to die the moment you are silent about things that matter.
Yeah.
That's just you. I mean, I'm not saying be like, well, are you gonna have mayonnaise sandwiches tonight? I'm not saying do
that's
that.
so good. Take that with you into the new
That's
school
wrong.
year.
You know what I'm saying? Did your mom make some soggy macaroni? That's why you upset?
Awesome.
That'd be hilarious.
She loves that macaroni and cheese too.
A soggy macaroni?
She's not here for the baked
I don't like
all those
soupy
different.
macaroni.
You don't like baked macaroni and cheese?
I don't like macaroni, period. Only this
respect.
one macaroni at this restaurant.
So, am I wrong for saying what I said before the show started?
Yes.
I'm just playing. George,
You're trying to, Jimmy Smith.
No, I'm not. I don't want no problem.
Let me get something very straight. I don't play when it comes to my children.
I respect that.
And I
Jones don't play when it comes to the kids. I don't want you to get up and walk out.
I think I'm about to.
Don't do that. I feel it coming. But Jordan, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior in high school.
So you want to finish?
Johnny knew her when her was a baby.
You want to finish out high school in Cuyahoga Falls?
I do.
Okay. Well, both of the kids want to finish school out.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
But I feel like that. I don't like. Here's the thing. We've lived in Cuyahoga Falls about 4 years now, and it's changed us, all of us, except for Lil Sean, I think, because Lil Sean is never going to their school. He's always going to STEM.
Yeah, he do got an edge that the rest of y'all don't have.
Yeah.
He got an edge the rest of
And
y'all don't have. I
it's
want to
so
hear
true.
from him though, man. He's just a cool guy, man.
Come on, O'Shine. I mean,
Chicago Falls haven't gotten to you, huh?
and he like white girls. He like white girls. He like white girls.
Hey, I had a phase. I like white girls at one
Is
point.
it a phase?
It was a phase for me. I mean, there's some cute white girls, but they ain't nothing like.
Well, no, we're not gonna say they're not cute, but he told me that the white girls are better.
I never said
Oh
that.
wow!
Yes, you did.
I never said that.
Oh man, shut up,
just
man.
listen. People don't listen to this.
Hey, no, I'm just playing. Hey, so did you say that?
No. Well, I don't remember saying that.
Yeah, that's the right. Listen, listen. From now on, I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. That's the right answer to that question. If somebody say you said that, listen, I can neither confirm nor deny these allegations. Just keep it, boom, boom. And that question, don't just stay away from it. How you feel is how you feel, and that's not for everybody on the radio. That's not right now, at least. That's a whole different
Helen,
conversation.
you got something you want to tell us, brother?
I love everyone.
He didn't want Kanye on us.
No,
He didn't want Kanye on us.
Listen.
The album did come out at midnight. Right?
Yeah, I
like
was
it?
dope.
It took forever to get that
Did
album.
you like it?
I like 2 songs.
I've only
Jordan
heard 3
said, "Oh,
songs.
it's fire." She
I
woke me
wouldn't-
up this
I wouldn't
morning.
leave.
Kanye got a new. It's fire.
He got like 4 more about to drop.
I like
I
it.
like
Yeah,
his
the one with
album.
Cuddy come out next week. Then he executive produced
Oh, really?
with Nas.
It's on the
Yeah, I can't wait till that. Nas come out June 15th. But hey, back to what we was talking about though. Both of your kids want to finish out at Cuyahoga Falls. What are you going to do? And what can Hey Young World do to help?
I don't really know what I want to do. That's kind of been my struggle and my frustration with myself, you know, since everything kind of took head last week. And I've been doing a lot of praying, like trying to weigh out the pros and cons. Do we stay here? You know, she can go to Firestone. He can go to King. I feel like these are 2 good schools.
Not bad for Akron Public Schools. Yeah.
If we move out of Cuyahoga Falls, maybe I can pay less than what I paid. You know, just, you know, I don't know. I really don't
That
know.
area that you just
like
said is a good area though.
My thing is
Where do you
that
wanna stay?
my first mindset was everybody go to Akron Public, we open and roll, but we still live there. That's what I was been talking about since the beginning of the school year.
But do
right?
you feel safe?
That's changed for me now. Is I don't necessarily feel safe at home anymore. We don't feel safe. Like, and I don't want to put that on to my kids. I want my kids to still feel like, okay, yeah, we heard what they said, but I know my mom got us and she ain't gonna let nothing happen to us and John Brown and, you know, so.
So my real question again.
Great.
Why do you want to stay?
Her friends.
My friends, and I like all my teachers, and it's just like
What are your grades like?
my grades. They're not the best, but they're not like horrible.
What's
I mean, are you getting in
GPA
top
like?
10, top 20?
So
What's your GPA like?
We just kind
Well,
of
she
there.
feels like she's getting a good education in college. You feel like you're getting a good education, right?
It's something, yeah.
It's something that's pretty
I
fun.
don't know.
It's
Think we
something
should switch
good,
schools
something
over
bad.
You guys talk about Black History Month in February, just like
They have like a display thing.
a display.
What
thing.
you mean a display?
It's like
There's a case with
it's a
some pictures in
case,
it.
and it has books.
But do they
and
talk about it? Do they talk about people?
They have like a slideshow on the announcements.
I think we about to
Is
just
that
be done
one
with it
day?
all because I just don't
But they
like
that's
it.
for every. They have something for everything. That's going on.
So my
The climate at Cuyahoga Falls High School is this. I dropped Jordan off one day at school and there's a young man walking into the building. This is with all the school shootings and everything.
What's his nationality?
He's white.
Okay, thank you.
At least I think he's white.
Yeah, I know
because
him.
he's covered head to toe where I can see nothing
Oh,
but
hell
his
no.
eyes and Confederate flags. Confederate flags.
That car, man.
He's covered.
but see,
I
there's
know
nothing
the
that you can do about that, though.
I called the principal. She said, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, there's
But I
nothing you
talked
can
to
do
him.
about that.
I talked
That means she clear.
to him.
Not like talking to my boyfriend. I mean,
No, like he's in one of my classes and he came in like because I usually just see him with like boots and like a belt on. And
What
it
color
look-
is the shoestrings?
I don't know. They're
They
boots.
red.
They're like cowboy boots.
white.
Yeah.
And he walked in one day and he was like, cover. I was like, oh. He was like, Confederate flagged out to my friend. And he heard me. He said, I promise you I'm not racist. And I was just like.
A lot of white people think that Confederate flag shit is a sense of Southern pride. So like if you got white family that's from the South, but the truth of that, and I've said this to a white guy before that was cool. I said, man, look, you cool, but the real is there's somebody in your family or somewhere in your bloodline that don't fuck with black people. It's inevitable because it started in the South like that. That racism shit has been going on for so long.
I can see how it happens. I have zero tolerance for white people now.
It started everywhere.
I wouldn't have.
Well, yeah, but
in the United States,
for white people, I have become, what is the word? Not race, like prejudice almost. A white person can they say anything to me? You really cannot talk to me. I prefer you didn't. Like, this is what Cuyahoga Falls has done for me over the last 4 years. I came from, I grew up in Bedford Heights. I went to Bedford. Like, it was white people. I have no problem with white people. I have great white friends. But these experiences and how they have affected my household and me, like, I just feel like I'm not here for white people. I'm not going to play with you. You can't really talk to us. You can't talk to me.
And
that's a problem.
Well,
that's a problem. I shouldn't be like that.
It is, but if a white person, if white people really cared, if white people really cared on why you felt that way, then they would have a conversation with you. If they don't care, then there won't be a conversation.
Some have tried to have a conversation. I don't trust the conversation.
Why not?
I don't trust white people.
Okay, well, I mean, why did you trust it? Why did you not trust these conversations?
Just because certain things rub me the wrong way. Like, even awesome young lady, Stephanie and Honey, she came out and protested. Baby, she had coffee. She had donuts, honey.
You trust her?
Because I feel like they all said it and work. Like, certain things I saw that because I went on her Facebook page. And she says things like, we have to learn to listen to our neighbors of color. I don't like that.
They can't help it. Like, you know how you talked about diverse training,
diversity training, yes.
Diversity training.
You would know, like, we ain't calling nobody no people of color.
Wait a minute. A lot of white people that's just walking down the street need diversity training.
They do.
They don't think that that's offensive.
Listen, I feel like people of color, her was black, red, yellow, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Asian.
And that's true.
Indian,
You're right.
all
to her.
just people of any color. I don't like the term because I feel like it crushes
We've
black people.
made it past that, right? We've made it past the color thing, the color phase. But at the same time, a lot of white people look at that as being, that's the norm. Like, you are.
It is.
But they don't understand that that's racial. Like, they don't understand you're being racist.
That's
when
why
you
the
say
diversity
that's the
training,
problem.
they should be forced to go to diversity training every Saturday.
I love black people. I have black friends.
Oh, hello.
That's the people that hit you with that.
Yeah, that's
because they don't understand. Like, that's racist to say. Like,
very.
I'm not gonna
but
say
I do have black friends.
They should know better. The movie Get Out. The movie Get Out has been out for how long now?
Everybody has the same.
Have you even seen it?
Yeah, Get Out.
I thought it was somebody else that seen it.
Me and Jordan went to go see that together.
Yeah, how long did you go to the movies and see it?
I thought it was somebody else.
Yeah, I thought you went to the movies and
Somebody
seen
said,
that.
Johnny, you didn't see it? You loved it, I know.
Oh man, that movie was fucking awesome because it shows you the psychological aspect of it. I mean, it's just a mind game.
Stop everything! Stop! I'm sorry. I am so sorry. Stop everything. Oh my God! Listen. Yeah, you about to be pissed too. You about to be angry, brother. Listen. So yeah, there was a side conversation going on just now, but it wasn't really a conversation. It was just a series of hand movements.
She asked, what would she do if it was her right now? Did the side conversation go with that?
See.
All right, then, man. This is a real life issue. This is a real life issue, man. Like, I don't want to be too serious, but if we don't do something about this shit, my daughter is gonna be going through this. Right. Y'all's kids gonna be. This shit ain't gonna stop.
You told me I wasn't having kids though, so
I never told you that. I never told you we was gonna have kids.
It's gonna take 5 years or something.
What?
Time is everything.
You're not gonna get it for
Time is everything.
He said
You gotta let
Hey, wait a minute. Eb Jones got a question for Hey Young World.
we're listening. Sorry.
No, you are. I love it. I was just asking, what would each one of you do in my situation? I would love to hear some options or advice. Like, do we move? Is that the
Are you asking me
resolution?
specifically?
Yeah,
or
is that the end all of end all? Is that how we get it done? Because I feel like if I move, I still want to come to Cuyahoga Falls and protest.
I'm not.
I feel like
moving.
if I move, that's what they want. Although I may still move, I don't want my voice to be silenced. I want because I don't know of another black mother who didn't just pull her children out and just let them continue to go, who protested or spoke out.
Personally speaking, from a woman, I'm the wrong person to ask, and I'm gonna give you this example. Then I'm gonna go, answer your question. But I don't have kids. But I do have a nephew and I have a niece. Those are my kids. Those are my babies. I protect them like they're my own.
Little babies.
So my nephew plays football. He was.
What position?
That's all right. He was the age of 6 at that time. And I seen a little boy. He played. Then they sat down for a second, and the little boy kept ramming, into his helmet and like grabbing him, like pulling him down. I went over
That's
there.
normal Pee Wee football shit though. But go ahead though.
But he kept on, and my nephew knows. Like he knows. We kept telling him to stop playing so much. So my nephew literally just had to sit there. He couldn't do nothing because his dad said, don't do nothing. Like stop playing around. I went over there as an auntie. I said, next time he put his hands on you, fuck him up. I said, forget what your daddy say. Auntie said, fuck him up if he put his hands on you again. That's personally.
I feel you.
Ain't nothing happened because after they seen me come over there, then the coaches and the parents came over. They came over there and separated. I didn't care though.
Yeah, number 14, you seen?
I'm just saying, I don't like that. It's like that bullying. It's like you're not about to bully him, especially because he was smaller. You're not about to do that. Like,
What number did he wear?
I think 14.
Did you say that because I just said 14, or is that where?
No, it's right there.
Oh, so he might be like a receiver.
Yes. But yeah, so from like.
Safety.
That's why I say I would be the wrong person. Like, I think I would be like a very aggressive parent. Like I don't know. I'm scared to be a parent because for that situation alone, to me, it's like I would be hands on with the situation at all times. And if I talk to a principal, if I talk to a teacher, we probably would have words. Because if you don't understand what I'm saying, I'm gonna talk like, all right, I'm gonna talk to you like like you stupid. I'm gonna break it down. And if you still don't get it, all right, now we gotta go to the next thing. Because I will walk out on you. Like, you will talk, and I will literally walk out on you. Then try to go to the next person. Like she did. I will to the next person, until we have something. Like, something gotta give. And if that don't work, all right, I'm everybody getting it. That's just how I am. Like, I'm very strong.
I feel you.
But I feel to me, it's only scary in the living state for your house. I'm not worried about where you live at because people live around white people all the time. They ain't gonna do shit. They threats is just threats because they feel like, I can get them to move. Ain't nobody think about your threats. Because he even said he feel protected, he feels safe because you made it very comfortable in the household. The only thing I'm scared about is the school. Because you don't know what's going on there. And they think everything's acceptable.
I agree.
And years ago, I don't know if y'all remember, I don't know, to the life of me, I don't remember his name. But it was a black boy down south. He ended up getting bullied and stuff. He ended up going missing. They found him a day or two later.
Oh no!
Rolled up in the gym mats behind the bleacher. His name started with a K. I just can't think of his name.
I know what you're talking about.
That's why to me,
dad was involved in that
it was scary for you to have your child in a school that he's getting bullied in because we don't know what can actually happen to him. In 2018, things are worse. They're worse. These kids are ruthless. They don't care. Yes. They run the schools now. So to me, a school change will probably be a little better. The home, the home is what you make it. It's protected as long as you make sure your kids are protected and they feel protected, which all three of us has presented that they feel safe. A school change probably to me I'm all for it.
I'm all for
My
it too.
thing
If you
is,
say something else, I'm
And-
down there.
and-
They
wait a
still
minute.
like.
Before,
So,
before
what's
you,
that?
I want to tell you. I don't know if Johnny the Gent want to tell you what he would do, but I want to tell you what I would do. Okay.
And you have a daughter, so
What I would do is I would invest in CCWs.
yes.
I would invest in a couple of firearms, and I would teach my children how to use them. Here's why. White people raise their babies up teaching them how to use firearms. From the ground, from the time that a kid, the average white kid, from the time that they're 5 years old, you can look this up. From the time that they're 5 years old, they're trained on how to use guns. Their dads are in the fucking NRA and all that shit. They're trained to use guns. So why shouldn't we train our kids? And where we come from, I was shown guns at a very young age, but I was never taught how to properly use them. And a firearm is a responsibility, as you know. And if you don't know how to properly use that firearm, you could mess around and hurt yourself or hurt someone else.
absolutely.
But that's what I would do. I would get my CCWs, invest in firearms, teach my children how to use firearms, enroll into another school, continue to protest. The reason why I would enroll the kids into another school is because of fear of retaliation because of what you're doing.
Yes.
That's what I would do.
But can I just speak on the gun thing?
Please,
That
do.
will
I'm about to
never
ask you that.
happen
I'm
in
about
my
to ask you.
house.
Wow.
It will never happen
Wow.
for several reasons. Because of the children, no, I don't put it first. Because of myself. I don't have to explain myself.
You don't think you have the discipline that it takes to
I
own a
know.
firearm?
I know, motherfucker. I'm mad. I'm going to get my gun,
Yeah,
bitch.
that
You know, I mean, for real, like I don't want
You
to do
sound like
that.
that juvenile or something.
Yeah,
Like, you made me
because-
mad. Man. I'm going to get my gun.
And then with my
Yeah,
kids, my
man.
sons stay into stuff. They
Gun
figure
safe.
out how, no matter where.
Gun safe.
You know what's crazy?
Gun
I was
safe.
thinking that,
I'm
but
cool.
I just feel like the way
There
you
are
raise your
bags
kids,
that you can
they
put
know
guns
not to
in
fuck
now
with
that-
mommy.
that
So
is-
if you tell them no, I just feel like they're not gonna.
You got it all wrong.
Gun
They
safe.
give
House.
They give good
They're
perception.
fronting right now.
It's a way
perception,
around
though.
that.
Them niggas, baby.
You have a garage, right?
I do. Put it out there. You hear?
Hey.
Now they know.
Right. You hear?
Now
They
they know.
know. They said two of them.
You give me a secret.
Y'all go in the garage?
Yeah.
Oh, well then shit. Hey,
And
there's
again,
ways around that.
I don't
but
want to have drinks in my system and baby be mad, and then I'm not doing that to myself.
That's the biggest thing. It ain't them, it's you.
Yeah, right.
It's you.
It's
Like, you
her.
feel like
Like,
you gonna,
I just don't want to do it. I just
feel like
don't-
you gonna lose your cool and then go that one moment.
And then they're gonna, she's
You gotta
gonna
get that
react how they
discipline.
wanted her to act like
And
a
I
crazy
think
black
that
lady.
that has happened to a lot of people. Or
Absolutely.
I think that I just know myself. Like
I'm
I don't want to do that.
Sure, there's a lot of people that woke up in the county jail the next
Yeah.
morning and caught a body and didn't even know what happened.
Like it's not even that I
Also-
wouldn't know what happened. Like I was in a blackout
Also,
state.
there have been many. Here's my argument against the gun, and I'm,
I don't want
for
my kids
I'm for
touching
guns, but here's my argument against the gun in this situation. It seems to be bigger than just one or two people. This, in my summation of the situation, it seems to be a neighborhood. Like this seems to be. This seems to encompass more than just this family and another family. Like you know,
like
Hatfields
it's the whole
and McCoys.
community.
I feel like
Yeah.
it's a community
Yeah.
thing. They're
Yeah.
taking turns doing this, and that. So when it comes down to the come down, things can get dicey. There was a woman with the CCWs and legally allowed to own a weapon who discharged a round into her ceiling as a warning, and she went to jail. There was a woman in Florida. I know these states aren't the same. In Florida, where they got the stand your ground law, whose husband was beating her, for lack of a better word. She had a gun. Wanted to get those kids out of there. She pulled the gun on him in her own house. She fired shots, not at him, into the ceiling. She went to jail because she was black.
Okay.
Well, I see
These
what
people
you're
are all
saying.
black. The woman who was on Facebook, of the light skin, like, I don't know, I remember her name, and I'm sad about it. They came and got her. She had a shotgun, legally allowed to own it. They came and got her, and they killed her with her child in her arms.
I remember that. I remember that. But
Being
what you were
black in
saying
certain
is that the
neighborhoods-
gun laws don't apply to us anyway.
Correct. I mean, get your CCWs. Black people, if you can legally own a
I don't know if I
gun,
can
and you
argue
feel like
with
you
that.
can't do it. Absolutely, we about to be illegal in a minute. It's gonna hurt.
Well, then, hell, it comes down to, do you rather be judged by 12 or carried by 6?
Yeah, listen.
And that's a question.
And let me
You know what I mean?
let me answer the original question. What would I do? I don't have any children. But I can sum it up in 2 words.
Get out.
Nope.
Alright.
John Matrix. And if it, John Matrix, that's how I would handle the situation. Who? John Matrix?
Wait a minute. I'm not familiar.
Keanu Reeves?
No, not Keanu Reeves.
Okay. Hey, that's what
I don't know. I guess nobody here's ever seen Commando. Don't worry about it.
Oh, yes. I love that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes. I'm going to go on
And
John
the
Matrix.
helicopter and a black woman. I love that movie.
Ray Don Trump.
Yeah, it's good. That is a
What
excellent
movie was that?
Commando is good as hell.
Oh, Commando. That was a very good movie. I didn't
And it was all
I
about
didn't
his
know that
little
was
girl.
his name.
And his
though.
name was John Matrix, and that was his
Absolutely.
friend from the service.
Who was his friend on the service?
The guy who took the daughter.
Yeah, it was.
That was his friend from the service. How did you get into it? No, the
Oh, I'm
movie.
sorry. I don't know who you were just referring to. Calm down.
Hey yo, so basically, by the way, that new Black Thought with Ninth Wonder came out today as well.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, so you can change the subject? Okay.
I was gonna keep it moving though. But
What?
I
I
know
was
you
too.
dying.
You cut me off.
I know you. Well,
Can we hear about this last
you laughed for 30 minutes before you got started. Nigga, goddamn, get to it.
Secondly, that's a lie.
That's it.
If
What was the second
I were to
conversation?
laugh
I'm
for
so
30 minutes,
interested.
everybody in here would be laughing.
I mean, maybe I over exaggerated, but she was laughing for a long time.
Nah, you were not
You was
laughing.
laughing for a
I briefly
long
did.
time,
There was an exclamation of joy, and it was pure joy. I'm so happy right now.
Can we hear about it?
Obviously, we can't. Let's continue this.
No.
Yeah,
Well, no, we'll do it at the end.
No.
We'll get back to this. It'll come on.
No,
Come on, let's
listen.
do this. I got off before. Let's keep going.
Hey, you heard what we had to say about the
Get you out.
situation, what we think you should do, and anything that Hey Young World can do to help along the way, the progression of this or whatever. I'm all for it.
I appreciate you, Jimmy, too. I appreciate
But
you.
I think you should take my advice though. Get your CCWs.
So you want me to go to jail?
No.
You want my children to be
Hey,
motherless
listen.
and fatherless?
Listen, what's that boy's name that put his hands on Jaden?
Seth.
Steph probably know how to use a gun.
Oh, I'm sure his father
probably
had all
not
type of
even a gun.
NRA stickers on the back of his
Yeah,
car.
he-
Listen, as a family, we take some kind of martial art together. I don't care if it's capoeira.
Ooh, the
Did he
dance
say
art.
martial art?
We watch Meet the Fockers.
As a family,
We
we're
watch
not
Meet
taking
the
a martial art
Fockers as
together.
well.
Hey, look,
hold on. That's where you.
look, my brother.
I got from Eddie Gordo,
I'm
actually.
all
Don't
for
worry
martial
about
arts, but martial arts ain't never stopped no bullets.
that. Listen, I've seen a couple of
Did you not
movies
see
where...
the last Dragon Ball?
Huh?
Wow.
You said
Yes!
what?
The last
Yes!
Dragon.
That was the most beautiful sense
Bruce Lee?
ever,
With your
too.
teeth. Bruce Leroy.
Catch your bullets with his teeth, nigga, please.
Man, you know what I hate? I hate when it be real shit going on, and then niggas take shit like that and then try to. That's a fucking movie, man.
I'm
Catch
just
your
saying.
bullets with his
That's a
teeth,
fucking movie,
nigga.
Talking about
man.
bullets and karate and never stop no bullets. Are you kidding me?
Who is the master class? It ain't show enough.
Bruce Leroy, honey.
You try that shit if they show up.
I mean,
All you gotta do is
I got
believe.
the
Try
blood.
that shit. Try that shit and see how it work for you.
Tongue kiss your Converse.
Hello. No, that's shown up. I
God,
want to
this
be Bruce
dude.
I
Leroy.
don't know. I'll just do it anyway.
I don't want to be shown up.
Nobody wants
Side conversation.
This conversation is completely related. Like I
Man, y'all
said,
talking- hey,
as a
listen.
family, we take some kind of martial art as a family. That way, we can go all Incredibles on them if necessary.
So we could just jump somebody.
No. It's about self-defense. Never use that to attack. Use it in defense. But we gonna all get back to back, and it's gonna be like some ninja. They gonna be mad. They were all flipping around, beating everybody's ass. What happened? They gonna be pissed. It's gonna be in the paper. Ninja family beats the hell out of the neighborhood.
Okay, so can I just have a serious moment?
Yeah.
Before? Are we
Yes, sir.
ending? Are we close to ending? What are we doing?
Hey, I want you to get everything off of your chest.
No, I just wanted to thank you all for even reaching out to me, saying, you wanted to have us on, especially wanting to have my kids on.
Absolutely.
So you can directly hear from them. Means a lot. Little Charlotte, is there something you want to say?
Yes.
Come on,
Okay,
come
on.
say it.
I don't want to hear
you be
anything
quiet.
about Fortnite or anything like that.
Personal. This what happened with Jenny school and everything, I really don't witness that at my school, but it was like a life-changing experience to society. And,
How so?
How have your life been changed?
just mentally and emotionally.
Oh.
Okay.
How mentally, Sean?
Because it pissed him off. Well, that's emotional.
Just how to, like, what you hear those people say, it'll make me angry and won't make me do something, but like you said, we have to hold our ground, and they want to see us react as black people.
How do you feel about firearms and learning to use them? I know your mother's totally against that. How do you feel about that, man? If your mother or someone taught you how to properly use a firearm, would you be interested in that?
Yes, I will.
Why though?
Because you would never know what will be going down in a certain period of time.
Would you ever think that you would feel comfortable shooting someone?
Yes, if I have to.
Yeah. It's you or them, man. It should be the last resort. Shooting somebody should be you should have tried to do everything that you could have done before you shoot them, but hey. Shit, I wanna make it home to see my daughters. So with that being said, it's a lot of side conversations going on. Why don't we talk about it?
I'm not even having
Hey,
no
man,
conversations.
you know what, man? I appreciate you coming through, man, and talking about what you talked about. You're a very intelligent guy, man. I think you're gonna go far in life. You too, man.
Thanks.
Y'all strong kids, man, because I
Also,
wouldn't
do
have
you
been able to
wanna,
go through this.
While you're on Hey Young World, do you want to shout out your YouTube channel? And tell
You
them
got
to
a
go
YouTube channel?
subscribe?
Yeah, say it on here.
No, I don't want to subscribe.
What?
I do.
What is it?
It was just to me. I think that YouTube channel was just a one-time thing. But if you want to subscribe, you can. It's called J Savage 365. It's me. I live stream games and I live stream YouTube videos
Okay.
Wow.
and react.
That's cool. That's real cool.
Say it again. It's called what?
J Savage 365. Go subscribe. And do not watch any of the videos. They have no sound. I'm working on it.
Well, you know, you gotta start somewhere. That's what's up. At least you
Right.
know what you did wrong and solving it.
He knows where to go from here. That's it.
Thank you, Sean.
That's it.
Uh,
Once again, Hey Young World wants to thank you guys for coming on the show
Yes,
and
indeed.
telling us it's a very important matter. Listen, this whole school would have had an issue with me. This whole school would have had an issue with me. But whatever you need from Hey Young World, whether it's helping protest, getting the word out there, just let us know.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. No problem.
And if you guys want to give your opinions or input, or you know what I mean, you feel like you can bring something to the table to help this family out, reach out to us at heyyoungworldmedia@gmail.com.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Ed. Thanks for teaching your boys how to stand up for something. And don't be afraid to show them how to use a firearm.
Thanks.
Hit somebody with a brick. Do it Friday style.
They don't want to do it Friday style.
Alley biscuit.
A brick.
A brick.
This is Hey Young World. They ain't here throwing bricks. I ain't throwing
If
shit,
you want
nigga.
to end with your...
Yeah, listen, we ain't closing up just yet.
Alright, go
I won't
ahead.
say my piece. I don't even care if we never hear it.
Wow, man. Go ahead, Henry.
Hey, sometimes, hey, listen, everybody. I know all my long-time listeners out there are going to be really excited to hear this. Because I'm stupid excited right now. And I say it every week. But you will never guess, not in a million years,
What today is.
what today is. I'll give you a second to think about it because I know 2 or 3 of y'all know the answer.
with this shit, man.
Well, today is 2 things. Today is 2 things. One of them doesn't even matter anymore. It's National Donut Day. Doesn't even matter. Throw that out the window. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about National Donut Day. Don't stop by Krispy Kreme or Dunkin' Donuts. We don't care. We don't care about none of that. Because today, oh man, there's kids in here, so I can't say how I want to say it. Today is Hat Day. And today Hat Day, everybody. Today is Hat Day. Today is Hat Day.
What is happening?
Yes, today.
Yeah, this place.
Yes. Today's that day. I've been waiting for so long. I wish there was video in here because you could see it. I've been waiting for so long.
I'm so glad you brought that raggedy ass.
That's her day. Oh, I get excited.
For a fucking year. Excuse me.
Boom, here it is. Y'all know it's hot day. That's it. I do my own stunts that I need to have.
I don't get it.
I'll tell you later.
I know where he's going with this. I don't either.
I don't know. Hey, to each his own, yo. Hey Young World, that's why I love Hey Young World. That's why I love Hey Young World, because every one of us brings something different to the table.
It's a celebration.
Helen got a stand-up album coming out, and he don't even know about it yet. We're working on it.
Y'all gotta check out my interviews. I just dropped the interview with LV from CLE.
I can't
Go
wait
to my
to see
Instagram. Unknown plug, unknown PLUGG _ check it out, the round table.
Oh, we do that.
Wait a
Hey,
minute, now
listen.
y'all acting like niggas at an awards show. We
Hey,
gotta
listen.
get you off the fucking...
Rob Scholar 19, go follow me
You have
all
to support
social
each other.
media. All of it.
Alright,
You're welcome.
I love these
Plug
guys,
yourself,
man.
social media.
You
Shameless
good?
plug.
Oh no.
You good? We're signing out like you got anything you
I'm
need to
Ebony
say?
Jones on Facebook.
Who are you on
Okay,
Facebook?
honey is still coming. Like I know, like it's not here yet. It's crazy, but okay, honey is coming.
Okay.
We're still gonna encourage our BBW females to feel good, look good, dress good. Fuck.
What was that F word you wanted to say?
I was about to say, I told them to go in the hallway, I thought, but okay, honey, it's coming. Ebony Jones on Facebook. I still don't know my Instagram name. It's Ebony.Jones. I don't know the numbers, but I think it's like 5362.
Okay.
I think it's an A in there. It's an A.
Is it A?
I think it's an A in there.
It's definitely full.
Everybody can say a different number on their class.
She's like,
Hurry up.
Hey.
I don't know. But and then also, let me just say this, and I'm done. I am still protesting. I put it up on Facebook. I am still protesting. School is out. My voice is going to get louder. I'm protesting. Ask me when and where. You can do that on Facebook.
5682.
5682. Ebony.Jones. 5682?
Yes.
Look at God. Thank you.
Look at the
Ask me
internet,
when
too.
and where. We are still protesting. My children have new signs they're holding, and their signs say we are not nigger babies.
I like
That's
that.
uncomfortable.
That's real. That's real. Yo, Hey Young World is gonna do everything we can to support you.
Send us pictures so we can post it.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely.
Everything.
Hey, reach out to us at heyyoungworldmedia@gmail.com. Seriously, reach out to us about this subject. And one thing about it, we gotta stick together because they stick together, and that's not racism. That's being real. Peace.
See how